The bill for an act to alter the constitution and to delete the provision to section 11/4 that will enable the National Assembly to remove a governor or deputy governor of a state in appropriate circumstances suffered a major blow at the Green Chamber as lawmakers kicked against it on Wednesday at plenary. The bill, which was sponsored and co-sponsored by Edward Pwajok and Ali Issa from Gombe State, respectively, suffered the setback.
Looking at these 100 chambers, we are 360. By the Constitution, there is no assembly that has more than 40 members. The highest any house has is 40 members. But here, we have a bicameral legislature at the national level. We have the House of Assembly made up of 360 members. We have a Senate made up of 109 members. I dare say, it cannot be for any frivolous reason that this National Assembly would any day, just on a whim or caprice, say, let us remove a governor. There must be cogent, verifiable reasons in the national interest and in the interest of that particular state to compel this chamber and the Senate to now decide to invoke that section 11 if we now remove the power to remove a governor.
When you are taking over the duties of state assembly, part of the duties that is recognized by the Constitution that the State Assembly can do, that include impeachment of the governor and the deputy governor.
The majority leader in condemning the bill, like his colleagues, blamed the Chairman Committee on Business and Rules for leading the House on an exercise of meaningless debate that doesn't make legislative or moral sense.
Our Constitution, by its very nature, tells us that we run a federal system of government, not a unitary system of government. Allowing this bill reverts that to a unitary system of government, where the National Assembly can impeach a state government and possibly in future impeach the chairman of a local government.
We already have the power given to us by the Constitution to remove Mr. President, to remove the Vice President. Now to seek power to start removing state governors, then this bill wants the National Assembly members to become omnipotent.
I feel, and this is my own personal opinion, that the powers that the National Assembly currently has to temporarily, and that's the emphasis of the word, temporarily take over powers of the House of Assembly should not extend to, as the bill is saying, removal of a governor or a deputy. If you say it is temporary, then there's a way to consider it. But to say outright removal is taking powers that I know will be an exercise in futility, because when this goes to various state assemblies, it will die there.
The bill was outrightly rejected by lawmakers as the mover of the motion was advised to withdraw it honorably, since it negates the principles of democracy.
Most African countries and most developed countries of the world have gone beyond the issue of charging rates on a monthly basis. Rates are charged as you are using. If I decide to buy a banquet for 30,000 naira, and I decide in the first month or second or third not to use it, it will still be there for me to utilize at any time I want. But for this kind of policy of buying, if you don't use within a specific period of time, you have actually wasted what you have actually paid for. I think it is unfair.
In a related development, the House has called for the investigation into the exorbitant charges and the refusal of multi-choice satellite television to adopt the pay-as-you-go package option in the country. The motion, which was sponsored by Abbas Tajuddin from Kaduna State, seeks to stop the ever-increasing prices of various banquet offered by DSTV, which according to him is against all known and fair business practices all over the world.
The fact that our House of Parliament is seriously under attack by the executive, using the executive fiat to delist whatever gains we must have achieved. It's something this Parliament must live up to their responsibilities, because we are the person of the common man.
The motion was referred to the Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values, Interface with NCC, Consumer Protection Council, and the multi-choice following amendment by Ayo Omidino. The committee is to report back in 8 weeks for further legislative action. Emmanuel Ehijene, PTV News.